Hello guys, welcome to a rainy day on the Gold Coast, and today is Anzac Day. Now, Anzac Day is the day that we remember those who went to fight in wars, and Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So when there's a massive war, the Australians and New Zealanders get together as one team. And today is that day. And it is Friday, so it's a public holiday. Last night, all the bars stopped serving drinks at 12 o'clock out of respect, and the only place where you can go and get a drink today is at the RSL clubs, which stands for Return Services Leagues Club. So that's the clubs that the soldiers are in as they get older, and the RSL clubs, that's where they go and eat their meals sometimes and catch up with their mates. And the RSL clubs also help diggers. Now, diggers is the word for Australian soldiers. It's an old word, an Aussie digger, and that comes from World War One, when they were digging the trenches. Maybe from Gallipoli, actually. Not sure, but yeah, digger is the old Aussie word for soldier. So I guess we're not really using that word very much anymore, but it's still very relevant to this day. And being Anzac Day, I wanted to share the story about my family over the last 100 years or so, because every generation of my family has had to go to war, except me and my brother. So my great grandfather, he was actually born in Canada, and that side of the family, they had emigrated from England to Canada. And there was several kids, and he was the last born kid. All right, so he grew up in Canada, and he was about 18, and he came out to Australia by himself. I don't think there was much going on for him over there, and when you're the last born, you got to go and look after yourself back in the day. So he came out to Australia by himself, and when he arrived, World War One was, I think, in full swing. And he was actually the first person to volunteer for the Australian Army in Byron Bay, apparently. So I think he was only young, 18, 19, something like that. And he joined the Australian Army, even though he was Canadian. And so he went to Egypt. He was stationed in Egypt. I believe he was in Gallipoli. I'll have to double check that. But I did see his service records or his discharge papers a couple decades ago, but I can't remember exactly if he was in Gallipoli or not. But I know he was in Egypt, and he did get wounded over there, and he did get sick over there as well, a disease, and then he ended up surviving and coming back. So after he came back, he met his missus. I'm sorry, I don't remember my great-grandmother's name. And then, they only had one child, a boy. Yeah, and that was my grandfather, Alan Richard. And so he was, luckily for him, his father survived World War One, came back home, and they just had one child. And my pop, got married with my nan, and they had 3 kids. And from those 3 kids, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, several kids, and there's dozens of us now. So that was a real sliding doors moment for our family, that my great grandfather survived his trip to World War One. Because if he didn't, I know dozens of family members that would not be here today. And so, my grandfather, he was in the Air Force in World War II. And he was stationed in Darwin. And I don't think he was a soldier type guy. I think he was more of an administrative type guy. And I believe he was involved when the Japanese were dropping some bombs here in Darwin. Yeah, and he survived that, thank God, and went on to have 3 kids, one of which was my dad. My dad was the oldest. Now, my dad, you guys know my dad, he's a really nice fella, and he grew up going to church every Sunday, you know, and he was a member of the youth group at church, you know. After high school, he did his course in accounting, became a certified practicing accountant, and then got work with the ATO, the Australian Tax Office. So, you know, a really nice fella, straight down the line. Vietnam was happening, and so in Australia they did a draft and they chose some birthdays randomly, and my dad's birthday got picked out. So my dad had to go to Vietnam. He had to serve for 2 years in the Australian Army. I think the first 6 months might have been training, and then he did some time in another place, maybe Malaysia or Indonesia, and then finally like a year in Vietnam or something. But you know, after Vietnam, he went to the Solomon Islands and became a missionary with the Uniting Church. So the Solomon Islands are next to Papua New Guinea. So he was there for a few years, and then he finally did a trip to Europe. He took 4 months off. He had accrued 4 months annual leave, and met Mum, and they had a fast get to know each other, and they got married and came back to the Solomons. They were there for a while, and then back to Australia, and we lived in Papua New Guinea a little bit, in Port Moresby, back to Australia, and I've basically been in Australia since I was 8 after that time. So yeah, that's the 3 generations of our male lineage above me all had to go and fight. And me and my brother, we never got asked, and we didn't join the army, but we both have martial arts gyms. So we've got a bit of fight in us, but you know, I'm 44 and he's 47 now, so they're not going to ask us to fight. We're a bit old now. But yeah, so being Anzac Day, I wanted to share the story of the Australian men in my family. Mum's side, coming from Austria via Slovenia, you guys heard about great uncle Willie, who had to go with the Germans, and great uncle Karl, who had to go with the partisans. My mother's father, my grandfather over there, he actually got grabbed by the Germans as well, and he got taken to Germany to be in the army there, but he deserted them and left, and he travelled by himself and made his way back to Slovenia, I believe, or were they in Austria at that time? I'm not sure. But anyway, by the time he got back, he was a little bit crazy. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with my mum's side. We don't know much more past that, what happened in World War I or anything. But anyway, yeah, that's the Anzac Day story of the Australian men in my family. Let's see how Rhea's going.
Hello everyone! Welcome back again to our YouTube channel. And yes, I just woke up and I just saw the cassava here. Yes, and Sergi and James, they are cleaning the cassava. Yeah, and I think they were going to make a alupe, which is that's a native dessert here in the Philippines. Just only you can use a sugar and coconut milk. Yes. Alright, this is how you gonna grate the cassava. Alright, so they are done grating the cassava cake. That's a lot. Alright, so I already squeezed the cassava. So we have here a leaves of banana, and this is the things that we were going to put the cassava. Yes. Alright, so we already put a coconut. Alright, so let's add a sugar, brown sugar. And then mix all together. I already mixed the coconut. I think that's right. Yes. Okay na ni ma? Amo ni nga kalamay? Or dugangan? Alright, so I just put a milk. So you can see there's a milk. So let's mix together. I just wash my hand before I mix. This is how you gonna make. Alright, and this, like that. And this is it. Alright, so let's gonna cook and boil for how many minutes? That's what we called a alupe. That's a native dish right here in the province. Right. So it's already done. It's going to eat now. This is a cassava. We call this alupe. I have here coffee.
So I gotta grab this bird. It's gonna be interesting, man. Most interesting part of the day.
This one here.
Right.
That one at the top.
Yep.
This one here.
Okay.
That one's moving.
Okay. This rag?
Yeah, it's a take out here.
Is it easy to get them or hard?
Get one.
Yeah. Oops. They know what's coming, eh? No. Oh yeah, got him.
Got it?
Yep. That's the one, eh?
Yeah, that's the one.
Alright, mate.
Rheza is going to cook now a pork sinigang. Yes. So we have here a vegetables and then pork. Yeah, so let's see what Rheza stays cooking. Alright, it's already served now and looks like so yummy. Yes, and I didn't take a video while she's cooking. That's right. Alright, so after how many minutes, I already got a lot of mango. Yes, and that's what I got. It's so tiring to climb in the mango, especially it's when day. Oh well, so tiring. But I'm so proud that I got this kind of mango. That's a lot. Yes, and I will bring it in Mansala now. Hindi mo naging kwa, ma? Mama got a jackfruit. It's already, ano na? Smell na ganyan luto na. And so far, the rice, as you can see, it's getting growing up. Yes. But before, there's a lot of work, especially to cleaning the field. As you can see in our videos before that we are uploading, that's a lot of work, especially when you clean the field. But now, it's already growing fast. And the good thing is, even though it's hot today, the water still operate. But before, when there's a El Nino, so our rice field, it's not really good harvest. Yes, because one of our field is all dry. Yes, but now it's almost green.
Let's reset. I want to talk to Kurt about positioning. See, he's very like white on rice when it comes to dominating a position. Like you just didn't do enough threatening stuff, and he's all over you from the get-go. And not that he really was starving for it, but he just naturally eats that space up when somebody's prepared to give it. And he subconsciously can feel if you're going to give it or not.
Yeah.
So let's try it again and take a bit more of a stand. Go first 1 or 2 times more than you would, or cut some angles more. Yeah? Let's go. Good angle. Yeah, make sure when you get a new angle, you go first, Kurt. Watch out, Callum, he's got those karate head kicks, man. Don't catch those low ones. Good job, Kurt. Halfway. "30 seconds. Try and run your legs up the cage and bridge, Kurt. Try and get a scramble happening. 10 seconds. time.